I think the unique challenges are here, and they're institutional, and I think EDI has to play some sort of unique role here to get things started. Not as a replacement to the finance institutions, but maybe just to create some initial success stories. But I would be really interested to find out what other ways, because at the ecosystem level, EDI is not the only provider. It doesn't provide everything, and you have to focus. And I think in this reinvention of discipline, I'd be really interested to understand, especially since I'm not part of the EDI system, but part of the entrepreneurship development organization. Are we able to come into the EDI system and leverage knowledge or share experience? How do we fit together, and how does EDI fit together in the ecosystem, not just with the banks?
This is an interesting point that you're making. In fact, what I thought was, this point can be the points, not of the uniqueness, the contextualization of the uniqueness of the state and the peculiar problems that the state is facing, the unemployment rate, etc., etc. All that make this very unique. And the point that Dr. Paray was making was that floriculture is an area where people have not been taken to entrepreneurship in a big way, and they have made a beginning by giving them the necessary academic inputs, training inputs, etc. Now, how to go about it further and see that it becomes a success, such a success that the banks will scout for people who are engaged in that area of entrepreneurship and start lending them. That's the way it should eventually figure out. That's what we are doing. I think we will next move over to the director, Mr. Jitendra Tiwari, director of the CED Bhopal.
Yes, sir.
Because we have already crossed the limit by about 2.5.
Sir, specifically to this problem, because MPF only on the agenda of the government rather than any commercial bank. We shared our views with the managing director. I think Mrs. Gauri, who was she was with SIDBI also. And she started microfinance and small finance loans to reduce the cost of interest and the cost of administration. There was no offices in any district of Madhya Pradesh, and the branch manager operates from his house itself, so that the operating cost is very less, goes to the entrepreneur's house, do a loan of 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, some up to 25,000 without collateral security. So in Jammu Kashmir, I think this is only the way model which can work out, because no commercial bank very truly will help out. Specifically, you have to work with the Jammu Kashmir Financial Corporation, because it is under the state government. They have to be under the state government, so they have to follow the agendas and the missions or the objects and the targets. That's all. Just slide out the things.
Oh, please.
Rashna, just open it. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Awasthi for giving us this opportunity and bringing all of us to share our views, good and bad.
That goes to Dr.
Definitely, sir. Forward. Yes, next. Sir, we are just focusing on the areas and our achievements. For the better managerial control and the quality control, we have segregated all our activities in the various divisions. Entrepreneurship division, one is the IT. Little bit elaborated we have done in the further slides. Next. This is skill certification division. This is vocational training division. SatMap IGNU Community College. This is a new innovative practice we have started. Yeah. Next. Consultancy and handholding, sir. This is because to help the entrepreneurs to make the project report, their loan syndication, their approval from the government departments. This is financial inclusion division, sir. This is again a very innovative, and I not sponsored by any sponsor agency. We are taking fees from the student directly. Next. These are some prestigious training programs, sir. This we got through tender. This is an USP project co-financed by DFID under JNLUM scheme. We have implemented training institute, various district as designed by the state government. Next. Support for community, again sir, a growth project for right awareness, health, hygiene for the slums of Gwalior city. Next. Sir, we are the nodal agency for Rajiv Gandhi Udyog Mitra Yojana. Sir, I would like to specify that all CED should come forward to take this, because in this MSME is giving us 4,000 rupees per successful entrepreneur, for which we have to make the project report, do the field survey and do the grounding of the unit. We are also working as a partner institute of NIMSME, NISBAT. We are the training agency for the gas victims of the Bhopal. We are the training agency for NREGA official for Gram Sevak, Rozgar Sahayak and Sachivs, State Planning Commission. Next. We are with the partner institute of SBI for the route studies. For DPIP project, recently we got a project of 7 crore rupees from for this integrated leather development project. We are working for doing CSR, sir. We are also promoting CSR activities and taking the projects from the corporate's house also. Information technology, sir. Next. These are the activities. We are giving IT training program, offering job-oriented courses. I have tie-up with the degree courses for Bhoj University, corporate sectors. Next. Other services we are offering is the software development, data processing work, sir, and the recruitment services for various departments and the corporates. So these are some courses. They earn well up to 10 to 15,000 rupees per month. All certificates are certified by the Madhya Pradesh Bhoj Open University. These are some special projects which we have taken from the Government of India, computer awareness program for every block of the Madhya Pradesh, 12,280 students. Next. These are some other projects, sir, career counseling projects regularly we take. We are doing also the data processing work for the commercial tax department, Rajya Shiksha Kendra, computerization of the hospitals and the civil hospitals. Next. Skill certification division, sir, we are one of the 10 assessing body. Next. Appointed by the DGET, Ministry of Labour and Employment. We are evaluating their skill competence. We are doing certification for various corporate houses also under their CSR. For DPIP program, we are doing certification work with IGNOU, Open Indira Gandhi University. Next. Vocational training division, sir, we have next. We have established the skill centers with the government of Madhya Pradesh, where we are imparting the vocational training to the BPL section. We have also created some vocational training centers, workshops on franchisee model. Next. These are the regular training sectors where we are doing on fee-based activities. Next. So this is the community college. We are in collaboration with IGNOU in every district of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, where the professionals, school dropouts, women can take up various courses as per their convenience. All courses are customized and can be even run on the Saturday, Sundays and the weekends. All certificates are issued by the IGNOU University. Next. Mini tool rooms are, we have been allotted land at Devas, and we have also taken our different tool room of Madhya Pradesh Lakhu Udyog Nigam Bhopal. Consultancy, sir. Next. We are also working as a project management consultant for the government department PPP projects. We are doing financial consultancy for Narmada Valley Development Authority, have many other projects. To support the entrepreneurs, this is the innovative practice which we have taken at a very high risk, although not earning anything from it. The training which we have given under this DC handicraft project, these artisans could not sell their products, so SETMAP is selling their sari suits at their own cost through our network, and they are doing well, sir. We have our own placement job portal so that the unemployed youth of the state and our trainees can take advantage where all the corporate house and other post their vacancies. Next. So this is the financial inclusion division in which we recent years we have to appoint 25,000 village entrepreneurs which will be self-employed without any support, because all the NREGA payment is to be made through banking technology only, and they could get good commission, and total budget of in Madhya Pradesh is of 50,000 crore rupees. So we are expecting a commission payment of 120 crore rupees, which will be through this village entrepreneurs only. We are also doing this survey and digitization work for UID and the food coupons project of the Department of Food Civil Supplies. Next. Publications are normally, these are our in-house publication, newsletter, magazines and other journals. Next. So this is our financial highlights. This is also with the support of the EDI, sir, Dr. Avasti, Dr. Sunil Shukla, which is on our board. They are always ready to support me. In 2006, we started with 10 crores, 14, 15, 17, and closed this year by 23, 24 crores. This is our down surplus after net profit 313 this year, sir. Next, this is the number of training programs, sir. 84,000. Next. So these are some special success stories or the special project which we have. I think the whatever vertical growth was possible with all the CETs they have made by hook and crook or what they are. Now the only way is for the horizontal growth, which is only possible through collaboration and networking. We are ready for any sort of collaboration without commercial agreement, with commercial agreement. We are ready to take over any CET for timely for a year or two to incubate it and hand over it. So we are very open in this.
Thank you. I think it has been a very informative
One
session.
simple question.
Sir.
Must congratulate you for diversifying your activities in such a wide thing. Can you tell us what is the total strength you have got in your thing?
You want to know my human capital?
Yes.
Yes. On roll, they are very less because again it is headed by Additional Chief Secretary Government of Madhya Pradesh and lot of government rules and regulations are there. But since no sort of grant is being given to us, so on roll there are only just 40. I have started taking the people on the contract on voucher payments. Then I started the franchisee model because initially when I joined it, I think I should stop it. Initially when I joined, there was the problem of the payment of the salaries. So you have to rent out my building. I think Dr. Shukla knows everything because he is behind my whatever success we have done and every issue we used to discuss. I thought no government will help because I have tried a lot with the state government and the chief ministers to support us. Nobody was supporting us, so I thought to become an entrepreneur and to take up the activities through tender, through advisory services. We used to give free advices to almost all the departments, help them to making their projects because all the people are very concerned about the success rate. So we have to be very quality conscious also. Likewise, sir, we started.
And also every trainers income development program is being.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tiwari. It has been a very useful
Sir,
exercise.
one more thing, sir, I would like to say at the end. The ultimate asset of these institutions are the human capital. I know, sir, when I joined, the turnover was 3 crore something. These people were, sir, आप जैसा आपने बताया था कि motivation, incentive की बात है. So this is all because of incentive, their training, motivations. Every year, sir, we do annual meet. Before last year, we have done at Pachmadi, then at Jaipur. We give awards to best productivity, best innovations, and best practices they have given, although with no productivity. So these are all the mixed formulas. With the help of Dr. Shukla, Dr. Avasti, we would have done this.
Wonderful. It's very nice that you could give us an account of.
Success. You are telling that your success rate was about 70% or something like that. How do you evaluate? What is the mechanism you adopt?
Sir,
You are training the people are going.
Yes, sir.
So after they go back to their respective places, how do you track them to collect information?
Sir,
You say that they are self-employed, they are having this industry, that industry.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Because of the competition in the state, I think every state is facing a lot of NGOs are working. So I try to convince the bureaucrats or the head HODs.
No, I'm telling you, how do you track the people?
I am saying that only, sir. I convince them that all the projects should be given to that organization which can prove the success rate. And this can be proven with their all database to be given after the training is complete. With their mobile number, with their employee's number, with their unit grounded, so that this department can verify it.
Immediately after the training is over, people are not coming in the unit. After the
We are giving hand-holding services also, sir.
then it will take some time. After the training is over, it will take 3, 4, 5, 6 months depending on the situation.
It's a regular process.
They are asking the agencies which are deputed to follow interp and all. Evidently because their core staff is very limited and they won't be able to,
We have 170 staff right now.
no, with that, they will not be able to follow up. So they are requesting the agencies which sponsor them
See,
to follow it
I
up.
will tell my own experience. I have got little experience in this area. in state government. I am basically a government of India officer. I am on deputation of state government. Hardly a year and a half I am in this ED organizations of state government. When I was in government of India, I was involved in certain ED activities. My experience that after you conduct a program, the skill development is over, you collect all their database, then you send the letters in a format that you took this training, these are your purpose, how far you have become successful, where you are lacking behind, where you need our help. Like that I used to send questionnaires to them, and you will not believe 2% people were only replying, others were not replying. My point is that I have already experimented, and it has been a very difficult task to really see the success. And I have personal experimented. As a director of MSc Media in Odisha, in Government of India, I have personal experience. So
No,
when
I appreciate your point.
when I faced the same problem, I was very much encouraged to know what method you have adopted so that you could access. If that's my problem. Well, I personally experimented, I failed.
What you say is quite right, but what is the time frame within which we expect the person who has received the training to get the benefit of training? Is it just a few weeks or a few months or a couple of years? We don't know. All these things we'll have to sit and discuss and then try to evolve a format and a follow-up policy. In the meantime, I think I should request Mrs. Jansi Lakshmi, Director CED Hyderabad, to make a presentation about the work that is being done and in particular the innovative programs and practices introduced during the last 5 years. Mrs. Jansi Lakshmi.
We'll speak on to that now onwards.
So we'll correspond. So,
Yes.
my return
In
is
fact,
on
it
the-
comes to, that is our own building. And we have got this facility that was located at the LF Industrial Estate in Hyderabad. And about CED, we were established in 1997, and this was promoted by the Association of Lady Entrepreneurs of Andhra Pradesh. And among so many other initiatives which they had started. And this training institute, I believe it was promoted by EDI Ahmedabad, and our president, Mrs. Ramadevi, had taken that idea of starting a training institute from EDI, and we had received all the help in establishment, in having this governing body in place, in having the procedures, and in getting so much other advantage of their experience in running this training institute. And we were registered. It's very difficult to convince the commercial bankers, so why not we have our own bank? And thank you for the opportunity that's been given to me, and we want to take some of the good ideas for our further future development. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Dr. Avasthi has already told me that lunch is at 1:30 at hall number 104 in the ground floor. But I thought if you can, I'm not that hungry, we can go through one more CD. That is Sri Kuran Kulkarni, Director MCED Aurangabad. Or Mr. Viran Nagar Agarwal.
Yeah. Actually, my presentation is based on issues which were before us and which are before us as CED. So I have enlisted issues before CED. It may happen that some of the issues are very much of concern of you people also. What I will going to narrate within coming 9 minutes, that how we have tried to resolve those issues. So I have made a division of those issues. Next slide, please. So the issues before CEDs are those can be classified like legal issues, administrative issues, financial issues, training related issues, and subject related issues.
Sorry, can I make this?
This is how we have been established in 1992 with the assistance of so many boards and corporations at state and as well as national level. Yeah, next. This is our mission again as usual. Yeah, I'll make it very fast. Okay. vision, of course, to become a center of excellence in entrepreneurship education, training and resource center for research and project guidance for entrepreneurial opportunities. Yeah, next. Location, we are located at Dharwad, Northern Karnataka. It's around 450 kilometers from Bangalore, 570 from Mumbai, and Hyderabad 490 kilometers. We are centrally located. Next. These are all our objectives. In by and large, they are all same for all CEDs. Yeah. Next. So whatever the expertise we have, it's by and large into entrepreneurship competencies. Yeah. Next. These are the spectrum of the faculties and experts all over the state, around to the extent of 300 people. Okay. Next. Details of programs conducted, please, since inception, since 1992. We have trained almost 2 lakh plus people since 1992. Yeah. Year-wise was that. Programs conducted during 10 and 11. Yeah. Yes. These are the programs conducted in 10 and 11. I want to highlight here some sort of innovation. Right? We have trained people in beautician. And of course, it's speaking of now every village needs that. Apart from that, mobile repair shops, repairs. And they have started their shops in village level at Gram Panchayat headquarters in the Gram Panchayat complexes itself. And they are working out on having AMCs, annual maintenance contract for mobiles and all that. And these Narega people who earn cash only, they are in touch with those Narega beneficiaries, and it's going to, I think, it's going to be through very soon. And apart from that, we were discussing a lot about bankers. At district level, at micro level, DLPCs and DLC and DLRCs at district level, they are being attended by our officers, training officers in almost all the districts, and we discuss a lot of issues pertaining to finance in those meetings. Next. Yeah, these are the details. Continue. I have given all the details. Around 184 programs we have conducted last year, and we have trained around 10,167 people. Next. Next. These are the so far within 2 months we have trained 22 batches around 830 people. Yeah. Next. These are the programs sponsored by MSME, Ministry of MSME under that PI scheme. These are the programs we had conducted around 10. Next page. 21 programs.
It would be a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. That's what he is going to do.
Yeah.
What
That
presentation
would be
we
very
create,
Yes, yes.
if you would load here,
Yeah.
we'll cut out CDs.
That would be a good learning experience. for us.
Yeah.
Including yours.
Yeah. It starts from yours.
Yeah, including my.
Thank you very much, Dr. Awasthi, for giving me this opportunity to chair this session. Thanks to all the members for being associated with this session and for the facilitation. And now it's time for lunch at hall number 104 in the ground floor. Professor Awasthi invites all of us to lunch.
May I request
Dr. Parekh.
the host, Dr. Pari, to give a moment to the chairperson.
Thank you.
All right, in legal sense also, because the members are gathered, members are electing somebody as temporary chairman.
Okay.
The proceedings start, agenda number 1, it is now over. Now
Exactly, sir,
second
that is
agenda
proper,
point,
that's what I'm saying.
electing the chair, it is all right in the.
It is a logical sequence, it is okay, I think, because.
No reconfirmation. No reconfirmation. Earlier, the temporary chairmanship is only for this meeting.
This is all.
Okay, then your agenda starts. So that has to be resolved, that's all. So also has been elected as chairman and the meeting starts.
So the chairman is already done now for the remaining post.
No.
Temporary chairman.
Agenda number 2.
Chairman, secretary.
No, that exercise we have already done.
Ready for
No,
chairman.
chairman is not still remaining.
Co-chairman, secretary.
No, what I was wondering is,
Post is
That-
done.
this is a very sharply angled kind of structure.
I think Mr. Parrish should be the co-chairman of this meeting, of this. if I'm not wrong. Sorry with the house, but this is.
You put a
Why
lady,
have you-
you see, don't make it a gender bias, you put the lady as co-chairman. It will have a better, Put a lady there.
Sir, I have frequently traveling will be there. Active participant. Sorry, ma'am, no, don't take it
I agree
personally.
with you, I agree.
I am talking the interest of the federation, that's all.
I agree with you.
And we have seen the active participation of Mr. Bennett.
as executive member, we
Yes, yes.
but as a co-chairman.
Now, I have an observation to make here. You see, friends, I am the youngest director, youngest institution. In terms of experience, in terms of exposure, I don't think, I don't reckon anywhere, I don't count anywhere.
One corner.
Huh?
Or moving him to other, you been one corner, Mr. Perry. But he can be member.
No, second thing is that.
He can represent the other side.
There's a
North,
technicality.
south,
It's
east,
just,
west.
I am not, I have not become memorized yet.
He
That's
is not a
why.
member of the field.
Dr. Awasthi, you can take one from south, one from north, one from east, one from west.
We can revive Mr. Jairam's
Co-chairman, you can make anybody, and one lady,
co-chairman
you can make
thing.
that lady.
After all, you are starting on it.
In the earlier meeting, it was suggested that the Secretary General should be around a person in around Delhi because to talk to the ministry and
That
all.
should be good, yes, good sense.
I think, but,
Somebody
I don't know
closer
if
to Delhi.
Tiwari can, he can take up.
Or
Secretary
this
General.
one director, you can take up, please go down.
Tiwari is closer to Delhi. Right, yes.
See, this is very unfortunate, but see, yeah, is part-time director.
And we can discuss that at agenda point number 3. But what I suggest, there should be one governing council for the society. Then there should be one executive committee which is different from governing council. Some of the governing council members can be member of the executive committee. Then we can have some subcommittees formed by governing council. Maybe one committee will be dealing with research activities, research area, one committee with training area, one committee technology area. Such subcommittees can be formed like executive committee.
Very good,
So,
good service.
so
Good service.
EDI,
Good service.
EDI director will be ex officio chairman of the governing council. And subcommittee chairman will be elected, as he has rightly pointed out, elected in annual general meeting of the governing council. There will be 2 meetings annually. One meeting will be of governing council and followed by that one meeting will be annual general meeting. Those are separate bodies. This is general body, which is inclusive of 15 members, all the members. Governing council may be consisting of 5 to 6 members or 8 members. And each subcommittee can be formed consisting 3 to 4 members. So everybody can get a chance, and there will be 3 or 4 chairmen of the subcommittees who will be included in the governing council. I think this structure will satisfy our needs, and this of research or in the field of training or in the field of technology, whatever be the subject of that subcommittee, that will go ahead. And the subcommittee will present its activities or whatever findings or suggestions at the time of governing.
Okay, this will be done this year, like last year it was done by NID Ahmedabad. Now, on a similar way, can we define what we are looking at the year ahead and just do with the minimal set of numbers, which we can just by raise of hands, we need 7 people and we can then define their role.
Right, sir. Right. Why to make changes, it's a lot of registration is there.
What is more important is what one to do, and a very focused.
Yeah, I mean, let's go by that. So, if Madam could be.
Yes, so Mr. Kiran is very important. Mr. Kiran is very important.
Kiran ji, Madam, somebody from Dr. Pari.
I can have a chat with him, and he is a member, and he can be the member of the governing body also.
In the meeting, we can accept his membership. No problem.
Yeah, because this is somehow we have to revise. So
In-house,
we might have to violate the rules.
So,
That's what we will do.
technical issues.
I write
Dr. Dinesh Awasthi.
Dr. Dinesh Awasthi, chairman,
इस पर एक बार फिर कंसीडर करो तो कभी
हो गया जी, हो गया।
नेक्स्ट मीटिंग में सर जब हम क्या रुके तो कर देंगे
Dr. Jairaman,
Dr. Avasti, Dr. Jaraman.
Suggestion is once this core committee is.
Can be done in the meeting that.
You are not doing the amendment today. You are not doing the amendment today. The AGM can, in part of the minutes, you can record. It's not a resolution which is binding in that sense.
Exactly.
But for future course of action, the committee will take note of the minutes and take action. The management committee as and when.
Let me read out these 7 names.
Propose a bylaw amendment.
Dr. Avasti, Dr. Jaraman, Mr. Jitendra Tiwari, Dr. Pere, Madam B. Jhansi Lakshmi, Mr. D.P. Singh, and Mr. Kiran Kulkarni. These are the names.
Now, the agenda 3, first is enhancement of membership base. I was just 15 लोगों का बहुत लंबा चलने वाला नहीं. So first thing is that we should request the CEDs which are not already member. Dr. Paresh, you may be a member. Sir,
Yeah, EDI is not, Tamil Nadu is not a member, I find.
sir, we would request you to.
No, that is a foregone conclusion. Agreed.
Thank you.
Otherwise I won't be sitting.
Thank you. And RCD Chandigarh.
I want to,
Of course, I mean,
Thank you. So
Because-
today number goes to 17.
80.
80. J&K, JS and Chandigarh.
EDI Kolkata. Yes.
Yes.
EDI, yeah.
I think
EDI.
I presume
Yeah.
that the subscription will be paid from the current year, from the date of
Correct.
joining.
Yeah, for that. No, that you do.
Not ideas.
Our auditor
No.
might have something to say.
EDI,
if I am
EDI
asked this
Calcutta is new
question.
member.
Yeah, new member.
So we will request you to become.
Yes, sir. What to do that subscription we can do by, that can pay today.
No, not, I mean, you don't have.
No, you send a check after you go by.
You change.
We will send a formal letter.
Of 22nd June. Am I right?
So the subscription for this current year, 2011-12. Right?
Yeah.
From 11-12 we are right.
Yeah.
March.
Like, but we have to take decision up to 2-3. What do we do? There are some members who have paid, some members who have not paid.
Very correct, sir.
So one is that
Up to 3-4.
Up to
3-4.
Up to 3-4.
up to 3-4. Huh.
Sir, it should be left at the discretion of the organization if they can contribute, but SADNA will contribute till date. 2003-4 too as on date. Because the
अगर कोई चाहता है तो ठीक है, नहीं चाहता है तो काम नहीं होगा.
Even then we can request also.
Yes,
we can request. I can request. We will request Jaipur. शर्मा यू से सर मैं हूँ, मैं अपनी सैलरी दे सकता हूँ, मैं क्या करूँ? It's very pathetic. Dr. Sunil Shukla is on the board.
So far I have never attended any meeting. Information comes few hours before. Back to the meeting.
next is sir, next is very.
So, ये जो enhancement membership, who could be our members? How to increase the number? See, one is, I have the other organizations. So, what are the organizations? One could be TCOs. You think they are appropriate. If you don't think they are, we will get out of that. But TCOs are also doing EDPs. And
Appropriate to involve somebody who is not EDP are those who have really done lot of work and changed the economic composition of the country. I think our younger generation needs to be educated about their contributions as well, so that right from their childhood, they have something in mind with regard to entrepreneurship, other than being a government officer or IS officer or whatever it is. So number one. Number two is, I have a very simple suggestion. Suggestion is that when we talk of EDI, you see, EDI don't make that strong impact in the society as such. Other than EDI, there are some institutions that sit back in there. But in general, EDIs are not being taken so seriously by the state governments or whatever. The reason is that probably we don't have the most appropriate human resource, required human resource in these institutions. Now, human resource can be available only if we are able to give them attractive salaries, and only then a good person, somebody who is, and has an offer in IIM Ahmedabad, I think he will never come to JK or any other EDI. Therefore, we need to have some sort of structure with regard to the packages to be given to those people whom really we feel that they can contribute in the ED movement, anti-government movement. Now, for this purpose, I think I cannot do anything. I have a very good salary structure. Everything is there. My institution, as such, I do attract people from the university. But as a general principle, I think we need to rock our head on this particular issue, so that we are able to attract the best talent in the country to these institutions. Because the days to come, please, I think you agree with me. In the days to come, entrepreneurship is going to be in everybody's home. You cannot do anything without entrepreneurship. Talk of technology dissemination. Now today in JNK state, the best technologies which are in the field, which are on the ground, are being imported not by the government organizations but by entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur who really wants that I should grow, he will never wait for the government clerk, the government babu to give him some sort of check in his hand and please take this. He will never wait for it because he knows that it will ruin this whole business. Therefore, we need to rock our heads on this issue, that we need to have a uniform organizational structure for all EDIs, put a salary structure for all EDIs, uniform, so that we are able to attract talent and we are able to do something better. I think this is an area where we need to do a little bit of job.
Now, another one important aspect which I thought I can share.
कल भी आना है।
कल आएंगे ना, तो हमें सीडी आज का मंडे को आएगा आप भी आ जाओ उसको रहीम को भी रहीम से करो housekeeping. Honorable Chief Minister, members, guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome. We start today's function, the first national colloquium of chairpersons and executive directors of IEGs and CEDs. Before we start the proceedings, I would like to request Dr. Dinesh Awasthi, Director EDI Ahmedabad, to please present a flower bouquet to Honorable Chief Minister. I would also like to request Dr. M.I. Parikh, the host, to give a flower bouquet to Honorable Chief Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the fourth visit of the Honorable Chief Minister to J&K EDI in the last 15 months. This shows the commitment of the Honorable Chief Minister towards entrepreneurship and J&K EDI in particular. We value the great source of inspiration and leadership that Honorable Chief Minister has given to the state as well as J&K EDI. I would like to request Dr. M.I. Parikh, Director J&K EDI, to please present his welcome address. Dr. Parikh.
Good morning, friends. Janab Omar Abdullah Sahab, Honorable Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Dr. Dinesh Awasthi, Director EDI Ahmedabad, Dr. H.K. Mittal, Advisor Department of Science and Technology and Member Secretary, Science and Technology Entrepreneurship Development Board, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, Shri R. Balakrishnan, Additional Chief of the Institutes of Entrepreneurship Development of the country, other delegates, my colleagues in EDI, Ahmedabad, JK EDI and Mercy Corps. It is a matter of great honor and privilege for me to extend a hearty welcome to everybody present over here to participate in the inaugural function of the first ever National Colloquium of Heads of EDI in the country. This colloquium is being organized jointly by EDI Ahmedabad and JK EDI. Your friends concurrently with Chief Minister of the state as chief guest, who has very kindly consented to inaugurate this maiden colloquium and the General Conference of Federation of Entrepreneurship Development Institutions of the country. While putting facts on record, as has been put forth by Mr. Khurshid, my colleague, that this is the fourth visit of the Honorable Chief Minister to this institute since he took.
Experts and all the national level who have been doing a great job in their states, but we will be having an opportunity of sharing with them the CDF fund scheme about implementing it, and it will be an opportunity to get the feedback. I was really wondering that we would get at least some memorandum done for consideration of the government. If there are certain areas which they would give us the feedback on, we will share that. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I am Parajit Singh. I come from Chandigarh, working with Regional Center for Entrepreneurship Development. It is an organization working in the state of Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, some part of the J&K, and Uttarakhand. We are basically in the line of promoting entrepreneurship amongst youth and women. And recently we are working very hard.
Cool. 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 Love, group photo me. Full up. Tulsa. Sir. सो रहे हैं
What is happening and what should happen and what is not happening and what to do. It is half an hour, I will try to finish in maybe 20 minutes. And after that, immediately, there is presentation by institutions. Dr. Ojia Pillai will be chairing this session, where Dr. Pare, Mr. Tiwari, Mrs. Jhansi Lakshmi, Chief Kulkarni and Mr. Viranna, they will be making presentations. So there are 6 presentations. We know, all of us know what you are doing. What we are interested in, what is innovative, what you have done in the past 5 years or so. What is that innovative thing which you have done? Because we know everybody is doing EDP, SDP and technology-based programs and rural entrepreneurship development programs and SJSYNs, all those programs, all of us are doing. So that is repeating ourselves, there is no point, there is no information passage. So what we are interested in, whatever innovative practices, this session is not meant for making a presentation on your institute. Because all of us know each institute too well. So this is not a presentation, again I would like to repeat it, this is not a presentation on your institute. This is a presentation on what new have you done in the last 5 years. And for that 10 minutes are good enough to really explain what you have done new. Additional Chief Secretary here, he will be very kind to accept my request. So they will be giving their own perspective. One from banker side, one from technology side who has been anchoring entrepreneurship development movement so long. And Manoj has been involved in entrepreneurship development over 20 years now. Since I know him, he has been involved in this kind of promotional activities, whether it is cluster development or BDS project or you name it. So both these persons, they will be sharing their vision where EDI movement should go. What are their expectations from ED institutions and how to forge a partnership between these two institutions and entrepreneurship development institutions at the state level or central level. We will take for tea and then based on their observations, there are Mr. K. Ahmed will be chairing this session and this is a panel session where Mr. Jayaraman, Mr. Paramji has been too long in entrepreneurship development, one of the pioneers, and Mr. Jayaraman who come from education sector and branch off into entrepreneurship sector. So the 3 perspectives, all of them will have different look or different way to look at entrepreneurship. This requires very seasoned kind of people who have been in this field for long, and whether it is Paramjit or Das or Mr. Jayaraman, they have been in this game since ages. So they will be able to give their perspective and they will be able to tell what is wrong with us, what is right with us, and how we are going to survive in future. It's a question of survival. So how are we going to survive in future? So this session, and today we will end up with this. For tomorrow I will take 2 minutes more tomorrow idea gets circulated that we will have program from 9:30. Or to take us to Belgaum. Gulmarg. And from Gulmarg you can go to Killenberg. They will leave you there for 3 hours and you can go to Gulmarg, Killenberg, wherever you want to go. You can freak out. So I think that is a good idea. We would like to finish up early. Only constraint is that tomorrow we have a very important presentation by National Street Development Corporation. Their second in command, Gauri Gupta, she is coming. She is flying specially for this program, but her flight lands at 10:30. So by the time she reaches here, it will be 11:30. So from 11:30 to 12:15 or so, we will have a presentation. It means what? We will finish our directly before she comes. And that will be a special lecture. If it is agreeable to all of you.
Otherwise it's not possible to move around.
Huh?
Otherwise it would not be possible to move around.
Yeah. And I would also like to, see that we want to listen from horse's mouth. Dilip is not able to come because tomorrow he is meeting with Nitish Kumar. Otherwise he was to come. So he said, I am taking Gauri. She was not getting ticket. We booked ticket and sent it to her. So you make payment in Srinagar, but take ticket. Don't tell me that ticket is not available.
Weekly paychecks, regardless of their week's performance, who are hired hands in the labor in someone else's garden. These doers are producers, and no matter what their lot is at any given moment, they will never take a place beside the takers. For theirs is a unique place alone under the sun. They are entrepreneurs.
Great.
This is what we are talking about. And we are talking about creating such people. When we started about 69, when we started, next please. Let's remove it. Let's go ahead. And he conducted the experiment with fishermen. Few he gave achievement motivation inputs, few he did not. And then after research he realized that those who were given achievement motivation performed far better. Now then he replicated this experiment in Bombay, in India, and Barcelona, Hyderabad, Bombay and Barcelona in Spain. And results were same all around, that achievement motivation does play a role. But he stopped there. It was 69 when Gujarat took a leaf from Maculand, and we thought that let us do something. And we came up with entrepreneurship development programs in GIIC, Gujarat Industrial Estate Corporation. It was similar time when she had 3 months of EDIs in Jammu Kashmir. 79 CED Gujarat was set up, which was the first center of entrepreneurship in India. 83 EDI was set up. 84 Nisbat was set up. IE Guwahati, then IID UP by 84. MCD, IID Bihar, IID Orissa, same time, with the gap of 2-3 years, 4 years. The institution was set up, and the most recent is, of course, JKEDI. This was the youngest and probably one of the most active institutions that we have around. So this is the journey of institution building in entrepreneurship so far we have. Next. Now, activity has expanded tremendously. Close to 1,500 organizations are engaged in entrepreneurship development program of one type or the other. They could be entrepreneurship development programs. At the national level, it has been close to 45% or so. More than 90% of the EDP-led ventures are successful compared to 40% were non-EDP-led, so it is high rate of success with people who are trained. mobilization of investment worth $27.56 and output worth $19-20 against $1 of investment. So this is a high return investment activity. And it has helped in creating full-time labor employment for approximately 5 persons per venture at a cost of close to $110 per venture. These are training costs. So it is a very effective, cost-effective, time-tested approach which we are talking about. Now, let us have a look at it. What, if it is so good, why institute after institute are without naming or integrating? If you look at the country, one after the other, there are institutions, there is only one person that is working. My colleagues are on the boards, almost all, I am on the board, within my. Now, it is really causing concern. If you look at, go and talk to people, not talk to bankers, this is a क्या फालतू का program करते हैं आप? What is use of this program? It's waste of time. Now, when I hear this kind of comments, I really get scared that such a beautiful strategy, such a time-tested strategy, it is losing its sheen, it is losing its uniqueness and importance. Why it is happening so? And I try to argue that, is it happening because all sort of players have entered into the game? Is it happening because we don't have good professionals, and the earlier lot, they were in profession, they were very committed and very well trained people, and now we have quacks. तो अब जैसे गांव में मिडवाइफ पढ़ी है, ये लगा दिया तो फिर अब वो प्रोग्राम तो कर देंगे, बच्चा तो पैदा करेगी, लेकिन अब कितना सेफ होगा, क्या होगा, भगवान जानते हैं। तो अभी हमारी प्रॉब्लम ये है कि ये जो हो रहा है, ये हम जा कहाँ रहे हैं? अभी पहले तो हमको who sponsored us? IDBI, ICICI, IFC, most of the institutions, the financial institutions, banks, they created. All of a sudden, for the last 10 years, everybody has started washing hands. Now we are nobody's baby, we are orphans. Fend yourself. Simple question I asked that, barring which have highly employment-oriented education, has ever education been self-sufficient? Always, historically, since the time immemorial, education has been patronized by state. Historically, you take any time, 5,000 years back, whether it is Chan time or month before, or even today, look at universities and colleges and all that, they're 100% funded by UGC or somebody or the other. To create employment for themselves and for others, they have to be self-sufficient. In a country where people are not willing to accept entrepreneurship as a viable career option, institutions and they have just withdrawn or they say do whatever you want to do, we wash our hands. Second issue is that declining interests and confidence and efficacy of those who look at us, our major clients. They are not really, they don't have confidence in us. I always say that if you have a good product, if
We've been doing, we may not know what one has been doing and what one has not been doing. But even then, we thought we will make a beginning now. And we will start with our host, Dr. Pari, who may be able to give us about what has been done in the JNK CED during the past 5 years of a very innovative and unique character. Dr. Pari.
How much time you are giving, sir?
But
To each presentation, how much time?
about 5, he said 9 minutes, we will make it just like that, not more than 10. Not more. Not more.
Friends, good afternoon to all of you, and it's a privilege and honor to be here before you and the collection of professionals from the entire country. who have a lot of experience as compared to our institution. The fact of the matter is that this institution was, JKEDI was established in 1997, it was registered. But in 2004, it just remained on the files. And then in 2000, in fact earlier, in 2002 or 3, we had one gentleman from Chennai, Mr. S. S. Raman. He was an IAS officer. He sought one retirement from this Indian Administrative Service and joined NATO. And then he was called back by the state government under the chief of the National Muhammad Saeed, who took over as the reins of the administration in 2002. Now, in 2003, I was asked that you please take over the charge of this institution and head it for some time so that we are able to so that things take shape the way they should. Now, ultimately, in 2004 Feb, we conducted our first orientation program. People really want to grow so far as this area is concerned. Our performance has to be changed in terms of the number of units which we have facilitated as an institution. So that was our benchmark. Then we had another chief, Principal Secretary, Mr. Kamar, Mr. S. Kapoor, who had earlier been Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Power Government of India. Now he took over as the Industry Secretary. And then it was under him that we started doing things the way a practitioner would like to do it. In the sense that we change our perception, where do we stand, where have we come from. We didn't have the environment of 100% of the state of the world, Kashmir. Then he told me, please work on this aspect in terms of the number of enterprises which you have facilitated. Then after 2 years, in fact, Dr. Avasthi, then he came out to help me. We got some program, EDPs from Ministry of Food Processing Industry, Government of India, through EDI Ahmedabad. We found that floriculture is an area which has huge potential in terms of the climate of the state, climate of Kashmir specifically. And I got experts from Delhi who are basically Kashmiri Pandit. And he was into this whole area of entrepreneurship development, particularly with floriculture, commercial floriculture. I invited him, we conducted a program, and then we felt that we were doing something great because people then started establishing enterprise because of EDI facilitation. So that gave me a big boost. But ultimately, at the end of the day, when we train people, we ask them that you are here, you please go to the banking institutions, you are sufficiently trained, you are better placed as compared to a layman from the street who doesn't have any concept of how entrepreneurship, what entrepreneurship is all about. Then we referred him to the bank. Bankers did not come. Because as we all know, that bankers are not in a mood, are reluctant to give credit to their first generation entrepreneurs because of this perception. Then one day we had a meeting in the Grand Regency, this Grand Palace, and Dr. Drabu, the then chairman of Jammu and Kashmir Bank, he met me. He said, I told him that we are facing problems because we are not getting the required support from this bank. He said, let's enter into an MOU with this JKEDI. So the MOU was precisely that what we do is we train people, we sponsor them to the banking institutions, they will give them credit on this premise because this is the group of people who are really experienced, who really know the art of entrepreneurship development and who really can be a success or so far as the success is concerned. We watched this whole situation for another 1 year, 1 or 2 years. It didn't work. And ultimately, we found ourselves in a helpless situation. We were not able to do anything. Now, please come. So, because I don't want to give those figures and other figures, because that you can get a copy of it, a hard copy you can get. Now, I was sitting with Professor Anand. I would always take his advice because we were working the same, this location was the same institution because we were taking to rent. So both of us were staying. Ultimately one fine morning a person came in from my village. It was just in the vicinity of my village. He said that I want to give me a job. I said, I cannot give you a job, but I can make you an entrepreneur. He said, what to do? I said, you please undergo training. And those days, Government of Jammu and Kashmir was trying to make us a self-sustaining institution. And they would tell us, please charge for the EDP you are organizing. So we charged 5,000 fee from each participant for a program for EDP or commercial floriculture, which would go for 1.5 months. So this was, I motivated him, I persuaded him to do something extraordinary. Then he said, okay, I go by your advice. But ultimately, I sent him to the bank, he could not get the loan, and he was a failure. I feel very bad about it. For 1 year, I was trying my level best to get money for him from him. I would have given him my own, because he was known to me. I would have given him my own money, but I was constructing a house, I didn't have money. But ultimately, I managed a credit from him, for him, from a friend of mine, who in turn gave him some dollars of floriculture, and he started doing it. And in the first year itself, he just liquidated all his liability, plus he earned 75,000 rupees in one season. So that became an issue for me. This is the question of one person whom I knew and whom I could do something for, but it cannot be a general principle. So what to do? Then myself and Dr. Alam, with my colleague Dr. Khurshid, who is here, he must be here, we went to our principal secretary planning and development department. Let it be a loan, but kindly keep some kitty with me. मेरे पास कुछ पैसा रख लो आप. So that if you give me 1 crore rupees, I'll give you 100 enterprises. He said, I'll help you. Don't worry. Then after some days there was a plan meeting where I had to represent the institute as a part of the district commerce department. He said, then before that I prepared a note and submitted through my administrative department to the planning department. Then they declined. Again I met this Principal Secretary Industry, this Principal Secretary Planning, Mr. Bhatt, God bless him wherever he is, Industry Secretary. And you see that this EDI has come now. There are people who really want some sort of support, little support, seed money sort of thing, so that they can start their bankers. We were again to a hopeless case. Then in the meantime, the government changed, and for Umar Abdullah, he became the chief minister, it was in January 2009, and Mr. Ibrahim Rathod became the finance minister of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, with whom I had some acquaintance. Both myself and Dr. Alam, we went to Mr. Rathod with a request that if you really want to take up this challenge, the way it has to be done, head on, please come forward and help us. In fact, he has been he gathered to me for 2 years, Professor Alam, but he is a wonderful teacher, wonderful down academician. So he prepared the note with our delay and submitted it to the finance minister. The provision of 25 crore was kept in the budget. Then on 5th of December 2009, he was formally known by the Honorable Chief Minister in Jammu. On the first time was Shri Krishna Ji Abdullah, and the amount was raised to 50 crore. So, when in that document, it is written, submit those DPRs to the bank, they will examine it at the corporate level. These reports will come back to our institute, who place these DPRs in the steering committee of the institute. Steering committee will clear these reports, they will go to the bank. And then, with the respective branch, after being sanctioned. After this whole process is over, and the case reaches the concerned branch of the entrepreneur, where he has to get money, then things came really bad for us. The banks again started circumventing the procedures. the way that it has become discouraging for everything. I have not, till date, from last 9 months, we have submitted more than 1,000 DPRs to the bank. DPRs to the bank. Out of those 1,000 DPR, around 600 have been cleared, or are still pending. Out of these 600, we have received many to the tune of 10 crores of fees. But when we tell the bank people that how much has been actually disbursed to the entrepreneurs, they say that we are trying to collect information, because ultimately the results are very, very discouraging. Now, another colleague of mine, Mr. Usman, who is still here, that he evaluated this scheme by way of getting in touch with the entrepreneurs, the banking institutions, with the careers, and everybody. And he also has come out with a study which is really, with a very dismal. Now we are trying to amend the system and make it not like to a person who is MBA or who has some engineering background, has not some engineering degree. Things are not working. What we have understood,
What Dr. Pare has given us a very graphic account of how, with all the formal and informal contacts he has been able to get the powers that be to agree to provide funds. But when it's a question of routing it through the banking system and then disbursing it to the beneficiaries or the entrepreneurs, is not with success. Now the question for, the issue that can be considered by this group of experts in entrepreneurship is whether there is any other technique that could be followed to overcome this kind of resistance on the part of the banking community due to reasons which they will be able to adduce, because they have to save the skin when it comes to they're answering their bosses and they're getting their promotion, retirement benefits, etc. etc. That's how they look at it. Now, is there any solution that can be thought out for the kind of problem he has posed? For all the efforts that you have put in getting the 50 crore sanction provided in the budget and all, he is not able to disperse it directly, he is dispersing it through the banking system and they are not. What can we do about it? Any suggestion?
Provision is made in the budget 100 crore, 200 crore to support a particular segment. See, at the end of the day, the basic thing is to be understood that banks are a business organization. And as you have said, the managers are also accountable to their bosses. The bosses, when they come for meetings or when they attend seminars, they may be showing their generosity that yes, we are with the entrepreneurs. But at the end of the day, when the manager, he defaults in a loan, then again, he has his internal procedures. If not anything, he might have unpleasant questions to answer. So I think that whether as a body, as a central body, say FEDI or something, we make a representation to the central finance minister, requesting him to keep a budgetary provision for entrepreneurship growth. And that money can be channelized through the banks, through EDIs or whatever it is. Or bank EDI combination and advisory committee can inform. That so that lesser questions are asked. Because the basic the problem as entrepreneurs we have found that whenever an entrepreneur approaches a bank, they are treated at par with an existing businessman. So they have to bring in collaterals, they have to bring in securities, they have to bring in things like that. So these are issues. So what we are expecting is to banks to operate like venture capitalists. To a degree, the banks to set up that mentality, which may be difficult, or it might come over a period of time. But I think the amount of money government spends for various segments to support, this could be a start.
With your permission, sir, with your permission, in fact, when this whole concept was conceived, and I think we must know from Dr. Alam as to what his perception was, what his basic concept was about this whole seed capital fund scheme when he prepared it.
In fact, Honorable Chairman, in fact, we have already consumed, I think, 10 minutes. I will very quickly run through the processes. J&K is to be understood in its context before we talk about the seed capital funds. J&K is a very unique state, as is put by the Home Minister. with unique problems, unique history, and we should have the unique solutions to the problems. It's a border state. We don't have foreign or the domestic investments taking place in the state. It's a choked place and there are problems. It is a family of 1 crore people as per 2001 census. A young state in the sense that the large proportion of people are in the age group of 25 to 45. People were talking about unemployment in J&K state and most of the problems, political, etc., were attributed to the problem of unemployment through the government agencies, was to quantify what is the number available to us. And we asked, the figure has grown almost to 9 lakhs. Now you can imagine a state like Jammu and Kashmir, which is a landlocked, a border state. We talked to the, as Dr. Sir was talking about, the government. We requested them to think about these issues. They asked them to propose a policy. We were conscious of the constraints of the financial institutions as well. They are doing business for the money which we have kept with them. And Dr. Sir was talking. So that they sell themselves to the financial institutions with something they have already started with. They didn't have the basic money to start a particular unit. We requested the finance minister to create a scheme and it was done. The arrangement was that we would identify different stratas of people so far as their education is concerned. Then we would train them, motivate them and do everything under single window system to create a very congenial atmosphere for them to enter into entrepreneurship. Otherwise, the mindset, as Honorable Chief Minister was saying, that a person in J&K is considered unemployed till he gets a government job, even if be it class 4th. I remember one of the ministers would always say that I wonder J&K should not be declared as a class 4 state because there are 2.5 lakh orderlies in J&K state and the gazetted officers number is not more than 25,000. That is the problem. So to change that mindset, we have to come in a different manner, in totality.
I just one question to
Yeah,
ask.
please.
You have a state financial corporation.
Yeah.
So why, admittedly the bankers, for a variety of reasons which have already been talked about, are reluctant or whatever it is. The state financial corporations were also set up with the object of funding
First generation
entrepreneurs.
entrepreneurs.
And because of the fact that substantial amount of capital comes from the state government, because they also go for refinance to SIDBI and they may be doing well or not doing well. I don't know what the situation is in your state. But I don't see, at least when it's the avowed policy of the government, through your scheme, through the seed capital scheme, to actually fund first generation entrepreneurs, why the state financial corporation cannot take the lead? Later on, after it establishes itself, you can have
The banks,
bankers also getting into it. Because why I am saying this is that there are other industrialized states in the country where, notably Gujarat and Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra and various places, where the state financial corporations over a period of time, they have been doing this job. How well they have been doing it varies in degree. But the fact is that there is a substantial amount of work which has been done, and all the micro enterprises first generation to a large extent are funded by the state financial corporations. Secondly, under a scheme announced by Reserve Bank, which I am sure our friend from and without security you can lend up to a certain limit which has been revised recently. So by a combination of these schemes, it should be possible for you to take off to a certain extent, and later on, I am sure you would have thought of this already. I would like to know if something was done in this direction. If so, what happened?
As I said, we have gone through the turmoil of 2.5 decades. I tell you an instance which is very unique. We have a scheme from NMDFC for providing loans, soft loans, that's 6%. Women's Development Corporation has been recently carved out to do this arrangement, be the generalizing agency for women. And there was another corporation, SC/ST Corporation, which was given the assignment for the men. For 2 decades, not a single rupee was utilized under NMDFC arrangements. So it remained defunct for more than 2 decades, this scheme was there. And in the period of 2 months, we were able to disburse around 3.5 crore rupees. And the target is around 10 crores in the current financial year. The problem with the institutions which are there in place, they are either different or they don't want to do, I don't know what is the mindset.
No, but with
Actually,
respect, sir,
we
the
are-
job of funding
I-
an entrepreneur is not really the job of the EDA.
That's true. That's true.
I-
You're actually going
That's what
away from
one can
the
understand.
starting.
But our problem is training per se, however good and qualitative, I fully agree with Dr. Avasti, that we will have to develop strong modules of training and make our institutions indispensable for entrepreneurship movement. That's one thing. But even after good quality training, there ought to be some financial support. If government is coming forward, that EDI is being the supportive base. So that the same.
I will say about finance department, with your permission, sir.
No, I think time is running out. One thing is very clear. Of course, one point was made very clearly. Our job is not to take over the job of financing agencies. But we feel very much depressed if the purpose for which we have trained these people is not served, because they are not able to start as entrepreneurs at all. In a situation like that, what Mr. Balakrishnan was saying is an alternative, which again was tried, and in a couple of cases it was a total failure, but now a new strategy has been evolved and they are trying to keep things moving. That's what Mr. Aslam said. So like this, we have to think of various models and try to see how we can overcome these obstacles or problems.
Mr.
And
Chairman,
then-
Just
Yeah.
Usman, just one.
I think we'll
Usman,
end up
just-
with
just
one,
minute. Just 1 minute, Usman has a small query.
Less than a minute. I'll repeat the border state, all of that. Our state finance corporation also is a unique problem which needs unique solutions in J&K. And I think what would be interesting, because we have this opportunity, is not just to understand the uniqueness of the challenges here, but I think across the ecosystems and markets and communities that all of these institutions work in, I think they're unique issues, but there are also some very basic standard challenges that are shared across the terrain. And it'll be interesting to define, I know for the EDI people, or people who are interested in trying to leverage or learn as much as we can for our ecosystem, for the Valley and for Jammu and Kashmir State, to learn what you have gone through in your own areas and what we can do here that can work. Because I was talking with Dr.